Hello, little friends. Today I'm going to tell you a super fun story called Little Giraffe's Big Gulp. Are you ready? Let our story begin. On a big green farm full of yummy things to eat, there was a cute little house with a pointy roof and shiny windows. And who lived in this little house? Why, it was the Giraffe family. Little Giraffe had a long neck and twinkly eyes like stars. And guess what? He loved his mommy more than anything. Every morning, Little Giraffe would give his mommy a big hug and snuggle her warm neck. It made him feel all warm and sweet inside, like he'd eaten yummy honey. Where did Mommy Giraffe work? Well, she worked very hard in a sunny orange grove. The orange trees were full of big, round oranges, like lots and lots of little suns, all shiny and bright. Mommy Giraffe would use her long neck to gently pick the ripe oranges and put them in a big basket. And who did she give these sweet oranges to? She gave them to Mr. Bear, who was round and always smiling. Mr. Bear was a super baker, and he would turn those sweet oranges into yummy, fluffy orange bread. Wow! Just smelling it would make your mouth water. But oh dear, when summertime came, it got so hot. The big hot sun shone down, and Mommy Giraffe got so warm working in the orange grove. Little beads of sweat, like tiny peas, would roll down her forehead, and her neck would get all pink from the sun. Little Giraffe felt so sad seeing his mommy so tired. He pouted his little lips and thought, it's all that mean old sun's fault for making mommy so hot and tired. I'm going to eat that naughty sun. Then it won't bother my mommy anymore. Little Giraffe had an idea, and he was going to do it right away. Thump, thump, thump. He ran back home and started his big plan. First, he pulled out the little table from his room. Heave-ho! Then, he dragged the big chair from the living room. Heave-ho! And the little stool from the kitchen, too. He stacked all the tables and chairs he could find, one on top of the other, like building blocks, higher and higher, almost touching the ceiling. The tables and chairs were stacked like a little mountain, but still, he couldn't reach the sun way up in the sky. Little Giraffe tilted his head and thought, "Oh, I have a ladder!" So huffing and puffing, he carried over the long ladder and carefully placed it on top of the stacked tables and chairs. Then he took a big breath, felt brave, and step by step, a little wobbly, he climbed up the ladder. Up, up, up he went, so high that the fluffy, white clouds floated beneath his feet. "Wow, I see the sun!" Little Giraffe shouted excitedly. The round golden sun was hanging right there in the sky, looking so big and bright. Little Giraffe stretched his long neck and looked closely. This sun looks just like the oranges Mommy picks. It's round and golden too. It must be yummy. He opened his big mouth and gulp. He swallowed the shiny sun right into his tummy. The moment Little Giraffe swallowed the sun, suddenly, whoosh, the whole world turned super dark. You couldn't even see your own nose. Mommy Giraffe, who was picking oranges in the grove, looked up in surprise. Why did it suddenly get so dark? Is a big storm coming? Mr. Bear, who was baking bread, poked his head out of his bakery. That's strange. I can't see a thing. How will I deliver my yummy bread now? It was dark, and all the little animals on the farm started to worry. The little bunnies couldn't find their way home. The little squirrels couldn't find their hidden nuts, and the little kitten almost bumped into a tree. Everyone chattered, "What do we do? What do we do? Without the sun, we can't do anything." But you know who was happy in the dark night? Old Owl. He opened his big, bright eyes and hooted, "Hoo-hoo! It's dark. Now I can come out to play." Now, what about our little giraffe? After he swallowed the sun, his tummy didn't feel good at all. The sun rumbled and tumbled inside him, and it felt so hot, like a little fire. Little Giraffe felt awful. Tears like big raindrops rolled down his face, and he started to cry. "Wah! My tummy is so hot! It hurts so much!" He cried so loudly that Mr. Bear heard him all the way from his bakery and hurried over. Mr. Bear found Little Giraffe crying his eyes out. He gently patted Little Giraffe's hot tummy and asked softly, "Little Giraffe, what's wrong? What happened?" Sobbing, Little Giraffe told Mr. Bear everything, how he ate the sun so his mommy wouldn't be too hot. Mr. Bear chuckled. "Oh, you silly Little Giraffe, you can't eat the sun." Then he patted Little Giraffe's head. "But don't worry, and don't be scared. I have an idea." Mr. Bear's eyes twinkled. He hurried back to his bakery and started to knead some dough. Little Giraffe wiped his tears and helped by rolling out the dough with a tiny rolling pin. Together, they made a super-duper giant dough ball. How big was this dough ball? It was bigger than Little Giraffe's head and rounder than Mr. Bear's tummy. "Now what?" Mr. Bear said to Little Giraffe. "Little Giraffe, this part is up to you. Since you ate the sun, your tummy is very hot, right? Try blowing on this big dough ball and see what happens." Little Giraffe listened, took a deep breath, puffed up his cheeks, and whoosh, 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 he blew on the big dough ball, and something magical happened. His breath had little flames in it. The sun's heat was still in his tummy. Little Giraffe kept blowing on the dough. With all that hot air, the dough started to puff up, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like a giant hot air balloon. And guess what? The dough started to smell so yummy and sweet, just like freshly baked bread. Slowly, this giant bread dough floated up, up, up into the dark sky. And when it reached the spot where the old sun used to be, wow! It started to glow with a warm, bright light. It had become a big, yummy, bright bread sun. The sky was bright again. Mommy Giraffe saw that the sky was bright again, and there was a yummy-smelling bread sun up there. She was so surprised and happy. She found Little Giraffe and gave him a big, tight hug. "Oh, my little darling," she said softly, "thank you. Even though you were a little bit silly, I know you did it because you love me. And I love you so, so much." Little Giraffe hugged his mommy's neck tightly and said sweetly, "Mommy, I love you the mostest, too. And I promise I won't eat strange things anymore." And from that day on, there was a very special bread sun in the sky, shining with warm light and smelling sweet and yummy every single day.